Now let's look at the org structure as we discussed earlier. So to see the org structure, we will simply go to the transaction called view org chart. When we go to view org chart, we can see that there are three type of chart which are available: org chart, position org chart, and company structure overview. We will come to directory and resources. However, these are rarely used, but org chart, position org chart, and company structure overview is used a lot. So let's look at the org chart. So org chart basically consists of the employee level hierarchy. So for example, Anya Singh reports to, if I say one level up, Charles Brown. Charles Brown reports to, for example, Christine Dolan. Christine Dolan reports to Chief Operating Officer Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman again reports to Mohan Kumar, Best Run Corporation. So you can see that these are the different, this is the different employee hierarchy which is available in the org chart. So this hierarchy is available as and when you click on the org chart, the employee whosoever is logged in will be shown his own hierarchy, and above and below his reportees as well as his upper level executives. For example, here Anya Singh is can see Charles Brown, and Charles Brown is reporting to Christine Dolan, and so on. Similarly, we have the position org chart. In the position org chart, it will always display the position hierarchy. So, for example, if you see here, this is a different view altogether. So if you see that this is the President United States, Sarah Davis. Sarah Davis has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 reportees, and all the 9 reports to Sarah Davis. And they are further, if you see Natalie Wilson, Natalie Wilson has got one more reportee reporting to her, which is Robin Durant, and it has got 3 more positions, and all the 3 positions are occupied, and you can see this has got further 4 positions below, and for all the 4 positions are occupied, and here also these 2 positions are occupied. So this is a position level hierarchy. It consists of um, vacant positions as well. So right now we don't see any vacant positions because this is yeah, we can see the here. So if you see head of store, this is a vacant position under Mohan Kumar. So right now we can see this is a vacant position, but in the org chart you will not be able to see the vacant positions. You will only see the employee hierarchy. So this is useful when you are basically launching the requisitions, when you are copying positions, etc. Now let's look at the company structure overview. To For the company structure overview has got different type of views, but we are mostly interested in understanding the business view. So let's look at the business view. So once you look at it, and I would like to see the business unit here. So I will go to business unit. So I have already selected corporate. So if you can see this corporate business unit has got different divisions. The divisions are like corporate services, executive office. Again, there is another division, executive office, finance, human resources, IT, and sales. And within these divisions, let's look at the this one. So within these divisions you have different departments. So these are the different departments. For example, finance holds the head of finance, financial controller, executive assistant, CFO, etc. And within these departments will be the position. So for example, this department, that this division holds these 4 positions. However, this particular if I click on this department again, and I click on this department, so you can see finance business office has got these 7 positions underneath. So likewise you can drill down to the position level, and you can also let's look at the different icons which are displayed here for each of them. So let's look at the first business unit. So business unit has got, so this particular business unit has got total 424 employees who are assigned, and out of 487 positions, so you can make out that some positions are vacant here, and the entity belongs to level 1. So this is the entity which is a level 1 entity. And here similarly for the division, finance division, you see there are total 11 employees assigned, then there are 11 positions assigned, and this is a entity level 2. Similarly you can see for this department this is entity level 3, and here for this particular position level you can see that this has got multiple entities. So this has got 3 entities, and this position has got multiple entities, that's why it is not showing up here. We will cover this in next couple of minutes what we mean by multiple entities. But this is the different hierarchy which you can see, and these are the different icons which has got a lot of meaning in itself. So in a nutshell you can see each and everybody in the employees who are assigned to the company structure. You can see it here in this view. Now let's look at the how to maintain this business unit. So when I say managing the business unit, there are two ways to explore this. The first way is you can just directly click here, and if you can see there is a box here, there is a card here which you can say show business unit details. This will take you to the edit and manage view, and you can also go to these lines which will show you entities. Here you can add the different divisions for this particular business. If I say add child entity, it will show me the division, and it will show me how the fields related to division creation. So we are not interested in that, we are interested in maintaining the business unit first. So let's look at the business unit and this card. So when I say business unit, so the start date of this business unit is maintained as 01/01/2016. Business unit code is maintained as CORP. Business unit name as corporate. This is a translatable field. You can maintain the translations in different languages here. Again, description is again a translatable field. You can maintain the different translations here. Status is active, and the head of the business unit is Jordan Robinson, which is managing this particular business unit. Now this has got a association as well. So when I say this has got an association, I will show you how to maintain this association. But right now this association is meant to, like, let's see, edit. This has got an association with legal entity basically. So this is showing up as 2LE. LE means legal entity. So if you see, this has got different legal entities. So this corporate business unit should belong to which legal entity, you can define it here. Now let's define our own structure. So let's define first the legal entity, because the legal entity is uh, the first and the foremost in the structure. So to define the legal entity, we have to go to manage data. And in manage data on the left side, you see the search icon. In this, you can select the legal entity. And in this, once you select the legal entity, this will give you the list of all the legal entities available. So let's select this legal entity, and you can see the details of this legal entity. If you want to select inactives as well, inactives means the legal entity which are inactive. So for example, this best run 1000 has got this status as active here. But if I make it inactive, for example, in that case, this search will not show you inactive unless you select here as yes, and then only you will be able to see the inactives in the search here. So let's, and then as of search, as of, you can, the calendar is available, you can always select the future dated entities entries as well. Then create new. Here you can create a new legal entity, and on this legal entity you can insert a new record from here. On the left side there is a take action, and here you can go and make correction on the present record, and also permanently delete this entry if it is not relevant. But let's go and check this fields of this legal entity. So the field is like start date, then legal entity is 10,000 for example. This is a legal entity ID. You can give any ID here. Legal entity name is best run. Description is best run for sandbox. This is again a translatable field. So if you see, they have maintained this translations. Same for description field. Status is active. Default pay group. This is up to you. If you want to select it, you can select the default pay group, or else you can leave it if it is not applicable for your company. Same with the default location. You can select it if there is any default location available for this legal entity. If not, you can leave it blank. Standard weekly hours as 40, currency as USD. So whatever, if it is Canada, then you can select CAD here, country as USA. So this legal entity belongs to USA. That's why the country is selected as USA. I will go and take and make correction. When you take and make correction here, you can see that this particular legal entity has got some other fields. So since you have selected USA here in the country, this has opened a different type. So which you can maintain it for this particular legal entity if you want to wish to maintain it. Otherwise, just cancel this. So now let's go and create a new legal entity. So I will go to legal entity here, and start date I will give as 01/01/1900. Legal entity ID is, for example, 1000. Legal entity name is, oh, the code already exists, so let me give something else. 9000. Okay, this also exists, so 9999. Okay, so legal entity name, let's give as best run USA. So it is best run USA. Let me copy this, the translatable field, and let me maintain default value English UK, and that's it. Okay, description as best run USA. Same, I want to maintain it English UK as well, and default value. Status as active. I don't want to maintain any default group. Default location, standard weekly hours. Since these asterisks are there, so these are all mandatory fields which you need to maintain on the legal entity. So I will say standard weekly hours and as 40, currency as USD, and country as United States. So once I select the United States, all these fields will appear. I can select whether this legal entity type is a government agency, joint stock company, non-profit, partnership, or sole proprietorship. But I don't want to maintain any of these fields, so I will just say save. So now the legal entity is created for my own company, that is called Best Run USA. The same way you can create the business unit. So now let's look at the business unit. So in the business unit, you will go here, you will click on this, and let's look at the corp which we have seen earlier. So this is the corp business unit. So if you can see, this corp business unit has got start date, business unit code, business unit name, description, status, and the head of the business unit, and then it has got a relationship to the legal entity. Similarly, we will create a new business unit, and let's create a new business unit. Rest all fields, rest all fields are same. So uh, let's create a from 0101 1900. Let's give best in USA, business unit name as based on USA, description as based on USA. Since we do not have any head of unit as of now, so I will leave it blank, and here I am attaching it to the legal entity. So let me attach it with my own legal entity which I have created, based on USA 9999, and let's save this. So this is a new business unit which is created. Now similarly you can create division and department. So let's look at the division first. For example, this is the corporate services which is created. So if you see, this is the same as of business unit, except there is one more field which is say parent division. So if there is any parent division to this division, then you can maintain that parent division here, and this has to be maintained with the business unit. Okay, so let's look at the I will just show you one more thing in the duplicate tab. Okay, so in the duplicate tab, let's go to the view org chart. So in this org chart, in the position of in the company structure overview, so if you see that the hierarchy started building it. So when I say legal entity and I say 9999, this hierarchy will be shown here. You can see the best run USA, and you can see this. So this code I think is not very friendly. So I would like to change this code. I will go to manage. So this is just to show you that how to go and make corrections. So I want to change it to 9999 so that it is similar to my coding convention. So this is Western USA, and Western USA is the description. Okay, now let's look at the division here. So we have already seen this corporate services, how it is maintained. All other fields on this is already explainable, and I have explained you earlier. So let's just directly go and create the division. So I go and create the division here. I give 0101 1900, division code as 9999, and let's say corporate. Similarly, you can define the translatable field here. Default value, kingdom, done. Same for the description, if you have any, and done. Head of the division and parent division I am not defining as of now because there is none. And the business unit, here you can see that the division is attached to a business unit. These are called associations. I will come to these associations a little later, but you can remember this, these associations are one to one or one to many, but in this case division to business unit, it is one to many because there is a plus icon. You can attach multiple business units here. So for example, I give this business unit as 9999, and then it opens the other window. So I can attach it to say 10,000 for example, or maybe core. So you can attach it to other business unit as well. I don't want to do that, so I will just save this record. So this is one division which I have created. Similarly, you can create multiple divisions here. So I would like to create few more for this demo. So let me create one more division. I will give 9991 and let me give retail services. You can define these fields, translatable fields. And then business unit again 9999. So okay, again one more division I want to create. Human resources. Same, I will attach it to the business unit 9999 Western USA, and I will save this record. So I have created few divisions. Now let's create some department. So to create the department, again you will come here only and just type the department in the field, and you can see some existing departments first. So let me see asset management AU for example. So if you see that these departments have got start date, code, then name, description, head, active or inactive, head of the department, parent department if any, and it is also attached to the cost center if you want to attach it to the cost center. And this department is attached to the division and also to the legal entity. So the division is, for example, manufacturing here, and legal entity is Western Australia. So let's create few departments now for our legal entity. So I'm creating a new department here, 0101-1900, and I'm giving under retail, I'm giving retail operations, and I am not giving any head of department, parent department, and division is retail services, and legal entity is 9999. I will save this. So if you see, the code is automatically generated. This is happening from the back end. So then the back end, the rule is created to generate this code, and we will see this rule generation little later in the course. So let's not worry about it. Just see that this is how it is created. Now let's create one more department. So with this department, I would like to create 0101-1900. I want to create under HR, I want to create talent acquisition. Talent acquisition. Default value talent acquisition, and I will say division as human resources and legal entity as 9999. Okay, so this is the talent acquisition which is created. Now let's create another department. 1900. I will create, say, payroll. and I will give division as human resources. So 9992, legal as 9999. So there are two departments created under human resources. Let's create one more department in under the retail services. So let's create, so we have create retail operations, and let us create sales. So again department here, I go to 01011900. I'm creating sales. I'm not maintaining the translations. Maintain sales. Similarly for this one as well, sales and sales. Then division as retail. Legal entity as 9999. Okay. So this is maintained here. Now let's look at some more things in the let's look at company structure overview, and let's look at business view, legal entity, Western USA. You can see that this is the legal entity. Under this legal entity, this is the business unit Western USA, and this is the entity level 2, entity level 1, and within this business unit you have division, and within this division you have retail services, human resources, and corporate. So here it is showing three. So it ends here because there is no further departments defined. But under human resources, there are departments defined. You can see talent acquisition and payroll. And within this, you can see retail operations and sales. So if you see, these cards are displayed. This blue one indicates the this light blue indicates the legal entity, dark blue indicates the business unit, green indicates the division, and the red indicates. So